Your boss won't listen to you. Your spouse doesn't listen to you. Your kids barely know you're alive. But here at The Fan, we love and appreciate you.
Just when we learn to appreciate what a huge wussy you are.
This is the show for the people, by the people. It's The Fan Call-In Show.
Presented by the ESPN Bet Sportsbook inside Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Here are the leaders of the Lunatic Fringe, Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker.
It is the Fan Call-In Show. I'm Scotty Vegas. He's Ryan Baker. But it really doesn't matter who the heck we are because this is your show. This is your opportunity to get your voice heard throughout the day. It is Selection Sunday. The phone lines are open. 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. There's a lot of different ways that we can take this show today, but you are the leader of the show, and we are going to be giving out gift cards to some of the best calls of the day. We got Visa gift cards, $50 Visa gift cards. If you give us a great call, we're going to reward you. And Ryan, so Selection Sunday is always one of those days where I get all excited and I get all nervous, and I'm watching as they start putting the teams on the board, putting the teams on the bracket. And it's something that even since I was a little kid, I just always looked forward to that 6 o'clock time. You hear that college basketball theme song from CBS come on, and they start talking about all the different teams, and I just love it. I've always loved it. Yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. It's just something special. But when you look at this day as a whole, as far as sports goes, there's only like a handful of college basketball games, but it's that anticipation of 6 o'clock when they start reading off those teams. One team that will not be read off is Ohio State hoops. And I want to get into kind of the failures of this Ohio State basketball team this year and what went wrong. So let's start out with that. Why is this team not going to be a tournament team this year, Ryan?
Well, first of all, there's no anticipation today, right? Unless you're just somebody who, wants to see where everyone goes. But, with Ohio State not being there, and granted, my love for March Madness has dulled a little bit the past few years because I'm always working high school basketball tournaments, and I used to love Thursday, Friday of the tournament. Now I'm working it, so it's kind of, I don't get to see it as much, so my heightened anticipation for it isn't the same. Ohio State, obviously, not being there, I mean, we're 99.9% sure that we're not going to see them pop up today in this bracket. So I think there were a couple things, obviously, that led to this failure for this Ohio State team. One of which I think was just a pure depth issue. They didn't have enough guys. When Michie Johnson, for whatever reason, left the team back in December, I believe it was, that changed everything. And then you had to rely on a freshman, and John Mobley was great. He struggled down the stretch a little bit. Was it fatigue because of the long season or whatnot, or people kind of got game film on John Mobley Jr. and learned how to defend him a little bit? Whatever that was, there was the depth issue. Aaron Bradshaw obviously wasn't what you thought he was going to be. He was in and out of the lineup. I do think Sean Stewart, we saw some improvement from down the stretch, especially on the defensive and the rebounding side of things. I thought we got a different Sean Stewart in the last 10 to 15 games than we had got most of the year. His biggest thing was foul issues, right? And I also think, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, and again, 614-821-9710, that is the number to call, the Fan Call-In Show. It is your show, a $50 Visa gift card to give away to our favorite caller of the day, and also some, do we have any dining credits to we got dining credits to the ESPN Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino as well. Perfect to come out and join us next week. You get you some of those dining credits, come out, have some lunch, watch some basketball. It'll be a great time. But Jake Diebler, say what you want. And I like Jake Diebler, and I really hope it works for him at Ohio State. Ohio State is not an internship program. And you cannot be a first-time head coach at Ohio State without getting the growing pains. And I think we saw some of that stuff late in game with Jake Diebler, where it's things where he's going to learn, I believe, and maybe he'll do something different in a late second. And also, the Buckeyes' inability to hit shots down the stretch, and maybe that was they weren't put in the best spot. They didn't run the best offensive plays, offensive assignments, whatever. But they were not good in the end of games. We can say what we want about, like, the Indiana game. They gave that away right at the end of the season. They couldn't hit shots in the last 4 minutes of the game. Kind of the same thing with Iowa. We saw it happen earlier when you and I were at the ESPN Sportsbook against Oregon. They had a double-digit lead in the second half, and they let that go away. And I know a lot of people are, this looks like the last few years. What did you expect? It's Holtman's right-hand man. I don't think that's fair. I think that's a little different. But we do see first-time head coach growing pains. I think that is a real thing. And hopefully in the next couple of years that goes away as he learns on the job, but he is learning on the job.
So a couple things. First off, here's one of the things that makes this extra painful is this was such a weak bubble this year. Like, literally, you're looking at it, and Ohio State is 7-15, and they're probably just barely going to miss the tournament, which means one or two of those games that you blew late probably would have been the difference between Ohio State being out of the tournament and being in the tournament.
And that's ridiculous to me. I'm so tired of arguing about mediocrity.
Yeah, I get it. 17-15, and the fact that you're actually still close to the bubble is outrageous. The other thing that hurts is the fact that you had Louisville go 8-24 last year, hire a good young coach, Pat Kelsey, and this year they're 26-6, and they are going to be one of the top 4 seeds, a top 4 seed in the NCAA tournament. And then even more painful is Michigan last year goes 8-24, hires Dusty May, and they're going to be 22-9. They're sitting there in the Big Ten championship game today, opportunity to win a conference tournament, and they're probably going to be a top 4, top 5 seed in the tournament as well. So it's painful to see the other schools that were in the same boat as you last year do so much significantly better.
And you're right, that is painful, but if you're comparing those situations, I don't think that's fair because those were teams that had head coaches come in from other schools, and those guys they brought players with them that they knew their system. So I think that's a little unfair if we're comparing, but I get the part that it doesn't feel good. 614-821-9710, that is the number to call in. We want to hear from you, whatever you want to talk about. Twan, you have called in. You are up first this morning on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Twan.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
We're doing good. Do you have a school, Twan, that you are representing this morning?
I don't really have a school that I'm representing unless I'm going to say go Bucks, man. Go Buckeyes.
All right.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
That's how most Buckeye basketball fans feel today.
Right. I think we're being a little hard. I had some conversations. I listen to the show a lot. I don't know what our expectations were. Like you're saying, we didn't really, even the players we brought in, Michi coming back, some of the new players, I just don't look at that team and think oh, for sure, we're going to make March Madness. I think we got to be easier on Diebler. And I think we have to make Ohio State hoops a program that big players want to play for again, because who are you bringing them in to play with? Thornton's great, but then it's a lot of those other players, it's not like you're getting these guys in the transfer portal that are oh, I want to go play with those guys. So I don't know. I just think we're in, like you said, mediocrity. How do we get out of that middle of the road as a program if we can't land these big guys, or the big guys we do land don't ever pan out? And I mean, it's been a while since somebody has actually panned out for O State hoops.
Yeah, we really appreciate the call and a lot of good points there. And I want to go back to the expectations. So I do believe that Ohio State, your expectation has to be you have to be a tournament team, right? I mean, this is now going to be 3 straight years where Ohio State hoops is not going to be in the NCAA tournament. That's not acceptable. That's absolutely crazy to me. Now, can we sit here and say, oh, we expect this team to make a Sweet 16 and compete for Big Ten championships? I don't think that's out of the question. I don't think it's crazy to say, okay, you should occasionally make Sweet 16s and always kind of be in the discussion of a Big Ten championship. I think that's a very fair expectation, and Thad Matta kind of set those expectations. Now, one of the biggest things with Chris Holtmann in his failures was early on he was making NCAA tournaments. He just wasn't doing anything when he got there. Like in his time, Chris Holtmann did not lead Ohio State to the Sweet 16. And then you saw them kind of fading out and getting worse and worse. And the biggest problem for this program is you're going to see when Ohio State basketball is not doing well, you're going to see a relatively empty Schottenstein Center. And you'll see such a lack of juice and excitement around the program, and that's a humongous problem. And so one of the things, when you hire a new basketball coach, and I was all about the Jake Diebler hiring, and I'm still hoping it 100% succeeds. But when you hire a new basketball coach, you feel like you get that shot in the arm for the program. Michigan got it. Louisville got it. And when you go from an assistant coach and you raise him up to be the head coach, I don't know if you got that shot in the arm with Jake Diebler as a program and the juice and the excitement of that this program was going in different places.
I will argue that you did get that shot in the arm at the end of last year, which probably helped him get the job. I also think you did get a little bit of juice when you brought Michie back and you brought in Aaron Bradshaw and you brought in Sean Stewart. Unfortunately, those three moves didn't work out like they wanted to, and it zapped the juice. But I think the juice was there at the beginning, and there was definitely juice at the end of last year. You may have just used it up. I don't know. I have something else I want to touch on Twan's call a little bit when we get back. Also, Dave and Tony, we see you guys are on the line. Hang on. We will get to you coming up next. 614-821-9710. That is the number to call. It's the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.
Are you turning 65? Are you looking for Medicare Advantage coverage? Great news! The Ohio State Health Systems and Mount Carmel Health Systems are in our provider network. Aetna has Medicare Advantage plans that include prescription drug coverage with a $0 monthly plan premium. Plus, the plans include benefits like dental, vision, and hearing. Call Aetna today at 1-888-76-AETNA to learn more. One of our licensed agents will answer your call. Call today, 1-888-76-ETNA. Aetna Medicare is an HMO PPO plan with a Medicare contract. Our D-SNPs also have contracts with state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in our plans depends on contract renewal. Plan features and availability may vary by service area. Participating healthcare providers are independent contractors and are neither agents nor employees of Aetna. The availability of any particular provider cannot be guaranteed, and provider network composition is subject to change. Other physicians, providers are available in our network.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Roll Up to Win is back at Tim Hortons. We're rolling out great prizes like a 2025 Ford Bronco, $500 daily jackpots, Xboxes, and more. You can earn rolls with your purchase of an eligible hot or cold beverage and favorite breakfast item. A whole new way to earn rolls this year. Visit your neighborhood Tim's and download the app for great food and more opportunities to roll up to win. No purchase necessary. Tim Hortons app required. See rules on app for details. Entered by 3/23/25. Sponsored by Tim Hortons.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, I remember you saying that a family business should reflect family values, that a customer deserves to be treated with kindness and compassion.
And those values will never change. The reputation you built for being fair and honest is our greatest asset.
In fact, in 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and named the Lennox Partner of the Year.
You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind. It's an honor to continue serving Central Ohio as a locally owned, family-run business.
So, whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just honest advice, Care is here for you.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
When you're a AAA member, we do the hard stuff for you. So, picture this. You're taking a road trip through the mountains at night, and you run out of gas. Do you, A, call AAA, or B, walk 29 miles to the nearest gas station in the pouring rain?
A?
On the plus side, get more with AAA. Go to AAA.com/plus side.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Few showers, possibly a thunderstorm this morning with temperatures near 60 degrees. Temps will hold steady into the afternoon. Showers and thunderstorms possible through mid to late afternoon. Then our sky clearing as temperatures fall from the 60s into the 50s and eventually the 30s overnight. A clear sky to start Monday. Temperatures will be near freezing in the morning, and then in the afternoon, upper 40s to nearly 50 with sunshine. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Donuts. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. The Fan Calling Show. Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus. The show that allows you, the sports fan, to be the star.
People in your life may not listen to you. Scotty Vegas and I, though, we want to. It is the Fan Call-In Show, the show for the people, by the people. 614-821-9710. That is the number to call. We still have that $50 Visa gift card to give away to our favorite caller. So 614-821-9710. Plenty of lines open. And speaking of those phone lines, let's head out to Dave. Dave, good morning. You are on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I got a couple things about the basketball program. I'll hang it up and listen. First, I think the bottom line for the basketball program, in my opinion, is that it's been mismanaged. I mean, I see yesterday I was watching Felix Apara, Roddy Gale, both having success on teams that are in the hunt. So how did we lose those guys, and then we bring in Sean Stewart, who fouls out after 5 minutes, Aaron Bradshaw, that barely sees the court. His development this year has been, in my opinion, well below expectations. How do we lose 2 guys and bring in 2 guys that are subpar? And on top of it, I've been watching a lot of basketball. Watch the teams on offense, how they're moving. They're setting screens. Our offense is stagnant. Our defense, we have lapses. As an example, the Iowa game, we let a wide open 3. I just think coaching and the team has been mismanaged entirely. We might need an overhaul. That might be too excessive, but I'll hang up and listen to what you guys think.
Dave, I think you make a lot of really good points. I really do. And as far as the transfer portal goes, I agree with you in losing Okpara was a big deal to me. And when you replace him with Aaron Bradshaw, who's a 7-footer who, in my opinion, wanted to play like a 6'2 guard, right? Didn't want to rebound, didn't want to play defensive post defense. He wanted to stand out on the perimeter and shoot threes. That was a big problem. And then you had a undersized Sean Stewart, and you're right, put forth effort, but unfortunately picked up a ton of fouls. That was an enormous problem down in the front court. The other main problem with this Ohio State basketball team is they would blow leads late in the game. And I was trying to figure out exactly why they would consistently blow leads, and I get it. Sometimes that's going to happen in basketball where the other teams go on runs late in games, but this happened so often. You think back to the Oregon game at home. You think back to the Pitt game at home. Big leads, blew it. Think back to Indiana. Think back to Illinois on the road. It's just throughout the entire season, they blew late leads. And I think a big reason why was the lack of depth. And guys, Bruce Thornton was averaging this year 36.2 minutes per game. Okay, he played 36.2 minutes of a 40-minute game. That is way too many minutes for your starting point guard to have to play. And late in games, that comes in. That's a factor, right? And I started to look up what some of the top players in the country were playing minutes per game. So the 2 best players in the country, Cooper Flagg from Duke, he played 30.4 minutes per game. You have Broom from Auburn, he played 30.1 minutes a game. When you have a lack of depth late in games, if you're asking your point guard to show up and he's playing 36 minutes, that is a big problem to me. And that's a big reason why I think they blew late leads.
And I don't think they expected that this year, right? That's one of the reasons they brought in Meechie Johnson. Unfortunately, and who knows, maybe one day we'll figure out why, but for whatever reason, Meechie Johnson is no longer a part of this team. And it put more minutes on a freshman and John Mobley Jr., and I think you did get fatigue from him. Now, if you want to say the roster depth with Okpara and Roddy Gale, I get it.
I don't get the Roddy Gale. Roddy Gale,
here's my thing. Here's my thing with this. I remember last year, a lot of Buckeye fans that are right now saying, oh, man, we need Felix Okpara. They were complaining about Felix Okpara and saying you didn't get enough from Felix Okpara. And here's the fact of the matter on Felix. 6 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, and just under 2 blocks. His numbers this year at Tennessee, 7 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, and just over 1 block a game. And listen, I understand there's a defensive factor in possibly changing shots and whatnot. I think if you have Felix Okpara on this, and this is not an argument about Felix versus Aaron, because of course Felix Okpara is a better player than Aaron Bradshaw. Aaron Bradshaw has been very disappointed. That's not my argument. My argument is if Felix Okpara was on this team, you're still this team.
No.
You're not that much better. Felix Okpara does not win you 5 more games.
So
does he win you 1 more? Maybe, but I don't think so. It's just funny to me that the same people that are clamoring for Felix Okpara were complaining about him last year.
So you're wrong. I think they would have won probably 3 more games with Felix. But here's
I just don't see it. Felix Okpara wasn't going to be hitting shots. And
I know that you're bringing up rebounds, 6 rebounds and 6 points, whatever. It's not about that. Look, Ohio State's biggest issues this year were post defense, and rebounding. And that's exactly what he brought to the table. And by the way, he played well in the game with alley-oops with Bruce too. So the pick and roll with Bruce, and he could alley-oop it up for Felix to slam it home. That was a better offense. You got nothing out of Bradshaw except he wanted to go out and stand on the three-point line and shoot threes. I think it would have been a humongous difference. I think that was an enormous loss. And you watch Tennessee, he runs the pick and roll really well. He's an enforcer around the rim. I completely disagree with you on the take.
He's also in a better situation at Tennessee.
Yes, of course. But he was a big missing piece this year because of the rebounding. There were so many times, Ryan, where I was so frustrated with the lack of rebounding from Ohio State hoops. And if you have Okpara, I don't think you have as many issues. But this is your show. Again, phone number 614-821-9710. We want to hear from you. And now I think let's go out to the phone line number 1 and talk to Nick. Nick, welcome to the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey, fellas. Good morning. Thank you for taking the call. I'm a private kid, so I'm going to throw out Wellington.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. What a play. So let's talk about accountability real quick. So accountability on a fan's side, at least for me growing up in the 90s, is watching Gary Williams come in, turn around a program, and start giving you hope. And then you get into the Mata eras where you're playing in Final Fours, making it to finals. Every year is a deep run, it seemed. So as an Ohio State fan, listening to the music you guys were playing, watching those teams play, it's through the roof. We're Ohio State. It should.
Oh, we unfortunately
I don't know what happened
him.
there. We lost Nick, but it's the accountability program. Can you have accountability when you go within staff hires, right? In-house hires. It's tough to do. I think you can, but it's really hard when that hire has never been a head coach before.
Okay, I get that. But okay, program as a whole. Okay, here's the background for me. I had a season tickets to Ohio State hoops for 20 years. Absolutely loved Ohio State hoops. They are my number one love, right? I like Ohio State football. I go crazy for it, but Ohio State hoops is my love. The problem is now you go to a game, and it's been like this for, 5 or 6, maybe even a little bit longer, where it's just not a good environment. Unless it is an enormous basketball game, like when they played against Michigan this year, that was a pretty good environment. But 90% of the games you go to, and it's really quiet in there, Ryan. The shot is dead. It's quiet. People are sitting on their hands. It's just not an exciting place to be. And it's like, gosh, you remember the games and the excitement that was there when Thad was here and they were playing well. And you would have games, maybe 5 or 6 a year, where the place would just be absolutely electric. And it would be a home weekend game against like a Michigan State or a big game against Indiana, or they would have one big non-conference game at home where it'd be crazy. And the fan experience was spectacular. Now you go and it's hard when there's just no energy in the building. It's hard to be the 1 or 2 or 3 or small number of people that want to try and get into it and want to try and get your team into it. So the program as a whole, not just has the players and the coaches been disappointing, but it's also the fans. Like it's just a lack of emotion and excitement for this team. I saw a lot of posts that were like, yeah, we've kind of stopped even watching Ohio State hoops over the last several years. And it's gotten to that point where it's just people aren't caring as much.
Listen, I'm guilty of that as well. I will say this. I texted Reeser during the Ohio State-Iowa game at the Big Ten tournament, and I was like, I just really got nothing for this game. Because I didn't think it was quality basketball I was watching between either of those teams, and I was like, there's just really nothing here for me, and I don't like that. Nick, we got you back. We are late, though. We've got to go to a break. We will get to you coming up in just 2 minutes from now. It is the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
Atlas Butler is built to keep you comfortable, and our plumbing services are no exception. You can rely on Atlas Butler for trusted, convenient plumbing and drain service. Our expert plumbers and drain specialists can take care of anything, from a broken water heater to a clogged drain. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
It's March, and you know what that means. Bracket season. You've crunched the numbers, picked your favorites, and maybe even taken a big gamble on that Cinderella team. But when it comes to your home, gambling is not an option. Spring storms are rolling in, bringing strong winds, heavy rain, and unpredictable weather. The question is your roof ready? At Newman Roofing, we don't leave anything up to chance. Whether you need a new roof, gutter replacement, or updated siding, our expert team is here to educate you, guide you, and give you the best options to fit your home's needs. No high-pressure sales, no surprises, just top-quality work from a team you can trust. That's why homeowners choose Newman Roofing, the #1 overall seed here in Columbus, because we deliver an unbeatable customer experience every single time. So, don't wait until the damage is done. Beat the storm before it ruins your big dance. Call 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit online at newmanroofing.com to schedule your spot this spring. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Basketball from noon to midnight. Scotty Vegas here, and we're throwing a Vegas-style basketball party at Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I even went out to Vegas to scout out how to throw this party. Tough assignment. The Fan is doing 24 hours of watch parties. The opening weekend of the tournament, there'll be custom T-shirts, Pop-A-Shot, horse games. Oh, and don't miss a game with a 50-foot video wall. Reserve your spot at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Back to the show of the fans, by the fans, and for these crazy fans. The Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Welcome back in. It is the Fan Call-In Show, 614-821-9710. That is the number to call. A $50 Visa gift card up for grabs. We've also got some dining credits to the ESPN Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino as well. You could use those next weekend when you come out to the Fan watch parties. 24 hours of the Fan at Hollywood Casino, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But I want to get back to Nick. Nick, sorry about that. We got disconnected with you. You were talking about fan accountability. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, sorry, fellas. Cell phone reception, much like our team, a little bit inconsistent. The fan accountability, I think, should be through the roof. It's Ohio State. I mean, I think that when you guys were talking about hearing the music and you see the tournaments, how much more fun is this when Ohio State's in it? And not to mention the fact, but look at the machine that is Ohio State. My biggest question is, and maybe you guys can help answer this, is where's the accountability of the media? It almost seems like it took till the last loss till we start asking some of the toughest questions. There's a lot of fluff pieces on this team in this program. Oh, they're getting there. Oh, it's almost there. We're playing hard. We're playing tough. I don't understand where – I know that there's player privacy issues with Michi, but you have to address it. Can you imagine Ohio State football team with one of their key players out and not answering a single question or addressing it? I don't understand why this program gets a pass on that kind of stuff. And the last thing I really have for you guys is this. How much do you look at Diebler? How much can you look at Diebler under all of the new rules, regulations, or lack thereof with NIL? And when you talk about new coaches coming in and being successful, have you guys had a chance to look at, like, for example, not just the coach, but how much money bought 8 wins and how much money bought 20 wins? And is there a correlation there of what it is? And I'm not a proponent of Diebler one way or the other. But I know under this new regime, is it a matter of spending money or is it coaching? And it can be both. I understand that. And if it's coaching, is it more GM coaching rather than just flat-out coaching the way it used to be? Either way, Ohio State has the resources, the connections to do whatever it takes to make a program successful. And at the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, this is real simple. We don't need a football-sized squad to be successful on the court. We need 5 solid guys with 3 solid backups, and we don't have it. For whatever reason, we don't have it. So I'm curious to hear what you guys say, especially the part about the media. I do not understand the pass this team gets sometimes. So Thanks, guys. I'll hang up and listen and enjoy the show.
Nick, that is a great call. We are going to go ahead and give you that $50 Visa gift card because you had a lot of good points in there. I want to touch on the Michi stuff just real quick. And maybe it should be pushed more, but the media has asked about Michi. Maybe they should have pushed more on it, but they have. And there's probably something in here that Ohio State can't talk about. Maybe somebody should reach out to Michi and his family and try to figure out what's going on with that. I'm not sure Ohio State can comment on whatever it is for whatever reason, but they have been asked about Michi, and they've just said, it's with his family. We're praying for him. We hope everything is okay. So I don't know if legally or whatever they can say anything on this, but maybe someone should reach out to someone in their family and try to figure something out.
So that is a good question. Great call, Nick. I appreciate the call. And again, phone lines open 614-821-9710. Nick is a winner of a $50 Visa gift card for a great call. We still have another Visa gift card to give out today, $50 gift card. So get on the line and give us your opinions. Now, quickly on the Michi situation, we actually had Jake Diebler on the money, and Michi had just left the team at that point, and we had asked Jake Diebler, and he basically couldn't comment. He said it was a family issue, that he was still around the program, but we do push and ask those kind of questions. Unfortunately, you can only push so hard on issues like that. I do think it's fair to say, hey, the Ohio State basketball coverage and media is very minimal. If you go across the board. Now, I love Adam Jardy. He does a good job. Columbus Dispatch, Steve Hellwagon. But there isn't that huge number of Ohio State basketball beat like we see in football, obviously.
You got Jardy and Hellwagon, and that's really about it.
Basically, that's it. And look, there's and Tim Hall does a great job here at the Fan covering Ohio State hoops, but there's only so much that you can press on off the court issues and the information that you're going to get as far as that goes. As far as like Ohio State hoops, though, and building a roster and how you're spending that money, I actually didn't have any complaints in the offseason. When Ohio State hoops was starting the year, I was excited about the core roster that they had. Okay, they went out, they spent good money. I know the ballpark of the amount of money that they spent on some of these players. They did go out and they spent money on NIL. The problem is you have to hit, right? It's a gamble. Right. And you look at Wisconsin and Tanji. He's their best player. He hit. Like, were we expecting him to be an all Big Ten type player at Wisconsin? No, but it came through. Micah Parrish was a guy who I didn't have any expectations on Parrish coming into the year, looking at his stats and looking at him at San Diego State. He was a bit of a surprise in the fact that he hit better than what I thought he was going to hit. I think the disappointment is you got nothing out of Michi and you got nothing out of Aaron Bradshaw. So you kind of went 2 out of 4. You got okay things out of Sean Stewart. You really didn't get anything out of Quez Glover either. So you kind of went 2 for 5. Whereas Michigan, they hit with their transfers. Louisville, they hit with Chucky Hepburn. And that's why you saw the improvement out of those teams.
And with those two situations, right, like Michigan bring in a lot of players that were Dusty Mays.
Correct.
So he already knew. And look, you can go back to the last offseason. I think Micah Parrish, you got exactly what you wanted out of him, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Even. I don't think a lot of schools in the country would have wanted Michi Johnson after what he did last year with South Carolina. And a lot of schools would have wanted Aaron Bradshaw and Sean Stewart. They were high-ranking recruits. For whatever reason, this year it didn't work out. Who knows? Maybe next year it will. Right? Like we said, we saw some improvement from Sean Stewart throughout the year. We saw flashes from Aaron Bradshaw, the Kentucky game, the Purdue game. So maybe those were work out. Maybe they just didn't work out this year. Who knows? But there's a lot of teams that would have liked to have those 3 players.
Well, and you've lost the fringe fans, right? I get texts because I'm one of those like crazy diehard Ohio State hoops fans. Mm-hmm. And even for me, someone who I wouldn't miss a second of Ohio State hoops game. I'm someone who stayed up till 1 a.m. watching that OSU USC game. I still am with the Ohio State basketball program, but the fans that aren't like crazy hardcore, and I have several friends that are like this, that follow the team but not like crazy hardcore about them. You lost a big chunk of those this year as far as following the team. Once they started, look, they lost 5 of their last 7. And when do Buckeye basketball fans that aren't crazy hardcore start paying attention? They start paying attention after football season when you get to mid-January and on. And that's when this team really started to tank, right? They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. When people started to really pay attention, they started to not play well.
Let's head back out to the phone lines. Let's go to line 1 and Joe. Joe, good morning. You're on the Fan Call-In Show.
Hey there. How you doing today? I appreciate you having me on.
We're doing good, Joe. You've got a school you're representing this morning.
Yeah, so I wanted to get some secondary opinions in regards to Ohio State and Michigan for this coming year and obviously the foreseeable future. I know I've heard a lot of hyping up in regards to Bryce Underwood, the new recruit for Michigan, and how he was basically talking trash to LeBron and telling, him to watch out for Michigan, and just with with him on their roster to come, and I mean, with how stacked OSU is looking to be, despite losing a lot of people to the draft. Obviously, we still have Jeremiah. I feel confident that he'll go. I think he'll be a Heisman contender for sure, if not this year, maybe the next. But I just kind of wanted to get your guys' perspective on what would happen if, despite OSU just winning the Natty and everything, and everyone seems to have a little bit more trust in Ryan Day moving forward in the next season, what happens if we lose to Michigan this year? Because, I mean, obviously, I personally am fond of Ryan Day. I mean, I don't think every coach does 100% right what you expect them to every single time that they go out with the field, or, whatever the case may be. I'm just kind of curious what you guys think would happen if something in relation to the relationship and the opinions of Ryan Day and kind of just the team overall, like, where do you guys see that direction taking if something like that, that unfortunate were to happen?
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
That's how I feel about that, Joe. Thank you for the call. I don't even want to imagine it, quite frankly, because I know you just won the national championship, but if you lose a 5th, the vitriol is going to be through the roof, right?
No, I disagree now.
Wow.
I do. And obviously, when they lost to Michigan.
What have you done for me lately world?
I get it. But let's say it's still a playoff team and you still get into the playoff and you do well. Like, Ryan Day has bought himself now all the time in the world here at Ohio State. And now the question is, can he do what Urban couldn't do? Can he do what Jim Tressel couldn't do? And that's get a second national championship for Ohio State. And look, the betting odds have Ohio State as the favorite going into next year. And so now he's bought himself that time with the national championship. And we were amongst the top critics of Ryan Day after that loss to Michigan. And at this point now, I'm of the opinion, get into the playoff next year. Hope you beat Michigan, but get into the playoff, make a run. Ryan Day's the guy.
So I'm pulling this up right now because I just want to see this. The Ohio State-Michigan game next year. I'm looking for what the date is on that, because if that happens, I cannot wait to talk to you on that day.
I know. So here's one thing.
Here's the day. Ohio State-Michigan, Saturday, November 29th in the Big House. If Ohio State loses, I cannot wait for the call-in show the next morning and to hear if you're okay and to hear the fans and if they're okay.
No, we won't be okay. We won't be okay. You're right about that. Maybe I
November 30th.
Understated
I hope we're not having that show, but I can't wait to see it if it happens.
So, all right, quick story. I'm walking around Vegas this week. I'm wearing Ohio State national championship stuff. Everybody's yelling, who yells OH, IO. There was all kinds of excitement saying, oh, yeah, national champs, let's go, here we go. And then there were Michigan fans that were walking around. And the Michigan fans that we ran into did want to talk crap. Like, oh, yeah, you won a national championship, but hey, you lost to us. So is it really, we still have that trump card over you? But you know what? It still was like, yeah, but look what shirt I've got on. A national championship shirt. So that is the ultimate trump card, Ryan.
It is, but you still know there's a lot of fans that don't totally feel that way yet. So Brian and Greg, hang on the line. One more segment of the Fan Call-In Show. You guys are next, coming up in just a few minutes on The Fan.
This promo is brought to you by Common Man and Timmy Hall's Ping Pong Game. The Fan. Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. As much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me. Oh, yeah? Like what? Well, the bruiseless avocado. Ooh. The unlosable TV remote. Could change the world. And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. Our 93 or free drain clearing offer is the next best thing. Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote? I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
The best matchup is you in a new ride at Coghlan Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $149 a month. Your choice, new 25 Trailblazer or 24 Blazer EV RS. Lease for $169 a month. At all 5 Coghlan Chevy locations and CoglanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Coghlan has the car for you. 36, 42, and 24-month leases, 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over, $39.99 due at signing plus tax, title, and license. See dealer for details. Ends 3/31/25.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Right now, select varieties are buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Roll Up to Win is back at Tim Hortons. We're rolling out great prizes like a 2025 Ford Bronco, $500 daily jackpots, Xboxes, and more. You can earn rolls with your purchase of an eligible hot or cold beverage and favorite breakfast item. A whole new way to earn rolls this year. Visit your neighborhood Tim's and download the app for great food and more opportunities to roll up to win.
No purchase necessary. Tim Hortons app required. See rules on app for details. Entered by 3/23/25. Sponsored by Tim Hortons.
Speedway knows the in-between is the best time for pizza. In between meetings, pencil in a pizza. In between this commercial you're listening to right now, eat a pizza. And in between meal times, that's when you need it the most. That's why at Speedway you can get 2 hot, delicious slices of pizza and a Mountain Dew 20-ounce for $5 with Speedy Rewards. With pepperoni, cheese, and extreme meat, your next stop at Speedway will be in-betweenier than ever. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
There's nothing like having Common Man and T-Bone resting on your bosom.
Oh, for someone with no breasts, you've done very well for yourself.
Gross. Pick up the latest T-shirt in the Fan store or pick up merch from a show you actually like. We even have Ohio State and jacket stuff. Head to 971thefan.com.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
380-208-4544.
Hi, Kevin. How's my engine doing?
Well, you tell me, little lady.
What?
Ma'am, an engine is delicate. It's got a lot of parts rubbing together.
Oh, is that so?
Lube her up real nice, and she'll purr like a kitty cat.
How do you know so much about engines?
Well, I spent a lot of time under that hood.
Babe, she is running hot. Let's go. And next time, I get to play the mechanic.
Rev up the romance with Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
For a limited time at Verizon, you can get our best price ever for a single line. Just $45 per month when you bring your phone, which is less than you spend on Too Tired to Cook takeout every week. Get one line on Unlimited Welcome for $45 per month with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Columbus Verizon store by April 2nd to save. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on Unlimited Welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Ever want to be a radio star?
It's all about the radio.
Or at least hear your voice on the air?
The radio's all yours now.
This is the show for you. This is the Fan Call-In Show, presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Speaking of people that have always wanted to be, or trying to be a radio star, Jeff Tito Thidoff joins us for the final segment. And Tito, real quick here, because we have a couple calls to get to. You have some big things coming up on Fan Sports Sunday after this.
Yeah, we got Jardy coming out the gate. He thinks Ohio State still has a shot at making the tournament. I think it's insane. But we have Jardy, though, on here's logic on that. We got Kevin McGuff coming on to talk about the Ohio State women who desperately want a 4 seed, not a 5 seed. 4 seed hosts the first 2 rounds on the women's side. That draw is at 8 o'clock tonight when they reveal that. And at 1:30, we got Clark Kellogg on. Special K is going to join us. CBS guy. He's been doing it forever. And give us some tips maybe on what kind of Cinderellas to look for this year.
CBS guy, Buckeye. You're right,
first. Buckeye. You're right.
He's a Buckeye.
Actually, he's Cleveland Angelo St. Joseph.
I love Clark Kellogg.
By the way, one of my favorite basketball gyms in the state of Ohio that I've been to.
Yeah?
Cleveland Villa Angela St. Joseph.
And I love that you're having Kellogg on. I was telling you this during the break. As far as like commentators and announcers across the board, I don't think there's anyone who could say a bad thing or dislike Clark Kellogg. He is that loved by just about every single fan base, does an awesome job, and he's one of the voices of the tournament, does so good.
He's one of the more popular, non-polarizing guys. Like Vital, there's people that hate Vital, people that love Vital.
Yeah.
There's nobody that hates Clark Kellogg.
Nope.
He was always so solid
impossible
doing that. Yes.
To hate Kellogg. It's also impossible to hate Brian. Brian, you're next on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good, Brian.
I just wanted to talk about, so the Stadium Series hockey game was recent, and it got me thinking, imagine if we had an NFL team in Columbus. I feel like it'd be amazing. Specifically, the Bengals relocating. Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen, but imagine watching Joey B and Jamar Chase in the Horseshoe sharing the stadium with the Ohio State Buckeyes every Sunday. I feel like that'd be awesome.
Thank you for the call, Brian. One quick thing I will say, and because there's not going to be a relocation of a team to Columbus, but I would love to see, now that the NFL is going to a 17th game or an 18th game probably eventually, I would love to see more neutral site games brought into the NFL, where you could have an NFL game in some of these enormous college stadiums. How great would that be? Instead of taking them all overseas, have some of them where let's do them at these big-time college stadiums.
Let's go to Tuscaloosa. Play a game there as well. Play a game up in Ann Arbor if you want to. Play a game in these different the big stadiums like that. I've been in favor of that for a long time. I'd much rather have that than the international games. But now they're going to 18 games soon, so it won't matter.
How about Browns-Bengals in the shoe?
Oh, yeah,
that'd be great, right? That'd be a home run. I've never even thought about that.
By the way, if they started the NFL right now, started it over today, Columbus would get a team. Cincinnati and Cleveland would not.
Correct, yeah.
Does Cleveland have a team?
They haven't had a team for a long time, no. The Ravens.
All right, let's head back out to the phone lines. Greg, you're going to be our final caller today on the Fan Call-In Show. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit. You guys mentioned earlier segment about the spring game, or they call it the showcase now. For one, I really look forward to the spring game, especially this year. For a number of reasons, we got a true quarterback competition. We're going to get to see these guys, take reps that we might not get to see in the regular season. like Tavian St. Clair, if he doesn't win the battle. I guess I look at it differently. A lot of my friends, they don't want to go. They just say, "Oh, it's just a practice." I think they're missing it. The way I watch the game, I watch it the way a scout would, and that gives me the chance to isolate on key players and to look for the rising stars. Who's going to be in the supporting cast? Where's our future at? And I think they're missing it. It's a great opportunity. This is our spring season we don't have one like the NFL. And I'm kind of disappointed in the ticket prices. I think you guys are absolutely right. It's about the fan experience. You got to give something back to the fans. They're asking too much for these tickets. I mean, I remember one year Urban, I'd already bought my tickets. They were only $10, but he said, no, we're doing it free. He wanted that stadium full, and they set a record that year, 105,000 attendance. So that's about all I got to say on the subject.
Greg, thank you for the call. We really appreciate it. I may be in the minority here. I don't think this spring showcase is going to be much different than what we've seen the past couple of years because we haven't had a true spring game in a long time. I think the wording is just different, and I think it was something like maybe we won't see any of the starters or the guys that have played a lot of ball, but I don't think it's going to be too much different.
I agree. I don't think it's going to be as drastically different as what people are thinking it's going to be. It's going to be a showcase. They're going to be out there. The players are going to be available. To me, the spring game is all about the young kids that absolutely get into the shoe that generally on a Saturday in the fall do not get a chance to. To me, that's what the whole spring game is.
I would do 2 or 3 of these, and I would charge $5 each and raise a lot of money for the athletic program.
Tito, one more time. What's coming up with you and DeVere on Fan Sports Sunday?
We're going to have Adam Jardy on right out the gate. Then we've got Kevin McGuff to talk about the Ohio State women's team at 12:15. Clark Kellogg, 1:30.
Yeah, loaded
Should be
show.
a great time. Do not go anywhere. Fan Sports Sunday with DeVere and Tito. Coming up next, we'll be back next Sunday, 11 a.m., a March Madness edition of the Fan Call-In Show. For Scotty Vegas, I'm Ryan Baker. Thanks so much for listening to the Fan Call-In Show on The Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What does living your best nonstop life mean to you? Cheering on your team at that big game? A music festival with friends? A family vacation? Or maybe a vacation from your family? Live your best nonstop life with low fares and nonstop flights only at Allegiant.com.
Non-stop flights from Columbus to Fort Lauderdale, one way for as low as $44. Must be purchased by 4/24/2025 for travel between 3/13/2025 and 8/17/2025. Seats and dates are limited. Restrictions apply. See Allegiant.com for details.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Basketball from noon to midnight. Scotty Vegas here, and we're throwing a Vegas-style basketball party at Hollywood Casino at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. I even went out to Vegas to scout out how to throw this party. Tough assignment. The Fan is doing 24 hours of watch parties. The opening weekend of the tournament, there'll be custom t-shirts, Pop-A-Shot, horse games. Oh, and don't miss a game with a 50-foot video wall. Reserve your spot at HollywoodColumbus.com. Must be 21 or older to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear Breaks, where collectors win big.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.